This is the first episode of Sleeper, Sports, and Media, the podcast. I'm going to review Monday Night Raw first. Riddle and the Street Profits versus Sami Zayn and the Usos after Riddle kicked off Raw with a really good promo. For sure, going to be next in line to challenge Roman for the undisputed Universal Mega title, whatever it is. Next was the Judgment Day, Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley with Edge versus AJ Styles and Liv Morgan in a mixed tag match. Rhea got the win on Liv. It was a good match. Overall, Liv and Rhea, I do like that they're still working each other, working together, even though they're on different sides. The next match was Alexa Bliss versus her former tag team partner and best friend, Nikki ASH with Doudrop. Alexa got the win and is 3-0 in her return. MVP won via count out, and Omos will get to pick the stipulation for Hell in a Cell. This was Monday night, and it's now Saturday. This is the wrap-up podcast segment episode. And it was later revealed that the stipulation will be a 2-on-1 handicap match, MVP and Omos versus Bobby Lashley at Hell in a Cell. And that contract signing will take place on Monday. Becky Lynch versus Asuka was the main event. If Becky wins, she will be added to the Raw Women's Championship match at Hell in a Cell against Bianca and Asuka. And Becky did end up winning. Moving on to Dynamite. Wardlow versus Shawn Spears in a steel cage match with MJF as a special guest ref. This was another one of the stipulations. Wardlow must win to get the match at Double or Nothing this Sunday. Wardlow did win, and Shawn Spears hit MJF with a chair shot to the head. It was phenomenal. He dropped like a rock. It was great. Next was Jon Moxley and Eddie Kingston versus Private Party. Mox and Kingston got the win and are currently ranked number 3. Currently ranked number 3 in the tag team division in AEW. Next match was the Ring of Honor World Tag Team Championships that ended in a no contest. It was FTR versus Roppongi Vice. A semifinal match for the Owen Hart Cup Women's Tournament, Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, versus Toni Storm. I wanted either one to win. I would have been okay with Toni Storm winning, but ultimately, the Doctor will see you now. Britt Baker making her way to the finals and going to Vegas. The men's tournament semifinal, Samoa Joe versus Kyle O'Reilly. This was the main event as part of the double main event, being the women's and men's semifinal. Samoa Joe won and will face Adam Cole in the finals on Sunday. Some notes. Early on Friday, MJF replied to a tweet from Sean Ross Sapp talking about Tony Khan's words, allowing MJF to bring his frustration with his contract negotiations to the on-screen story with him and Wardlow. Quote, "Fucking LOL. Fuck this place, man," was the tweet from MJF. I like this, and I think he's really leaning more towards not re-signing in 2024 when his contract runs out, and I think he's going to jump ship and come to the WWE. More news and notes to hit on. Ric Flair is returning to the ring. The Young Bucks versus the Hardy Boys will be a dream match come true at Double or Nothing. The WWE is moving Money in the Bank from Allegiant Stadium to MGM Grand Arena Garden in Vegas. And CM Punk mocks the move by them by posting a picture of Hulk Hogan and Sergeant Slaughter at WrestleMania the year that there was a bomb threat and they had to move venues. Like I said, Riddle will be Roman's next opponent at Money in the Bank in July. John Cena's 20th anniversary is coming up, and so is a return for him. He is also being rumored to be the one to break Ric Flair's title record, but nothing's been said about if it's this run or a future one. Kevin Owens hilariously called out Cristiano Ronaldo. I don't know if it was real or fake or what. Quote, "Nobody cares about your 6, 8, or 10 pack. Put a shirt on, get in the ring, and let's see what you can do in there." Bobby Lashley wants Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania 39, stating on the bump, "We still have a little score to settle. We're not done." He also earlier this week quoted and said that they need a title on Raw, a world title on Raw. Sasha Banks and Naomi are still suspended indefinitely. That's also been stated that that is without pay, but are advertised for the June 24th showing of SmackDown, which there is no Roman Reigns advertised for that show. I don't know if his 10-week hiatus has started. He was not on SmackDown last night, even though he was at the arena, and the Usos were on TV. No news on the tournament to crown a new women's tag team champion, but there were reports that they're bringing up NXT tag teams since the division on the main roster is so bare, if you can even call it that. No update or rumor on Bayley's return. However, Lacey Evans will be in action on Raw this coming Monday. Formerly known as Renee Young, Renee Paquette stated, "They were important for about 30 seconds and then nobody cared. There was no true women's tag teams and they just lost their luster really quickly." Stated on the women's tag team titles in the WWE via TDR Wham. "I have never won the NXT Women's Championship. It would be nice to be able to come back there and face these young wrestlers." Bianca Belair stated on wanting to return to NXT via VL Media. Roman Reigns and Ronda Rousey have both been removed from the Money in the Bank poster. They, WWE, haven't officially said anything, but the brand extension is essentially done. Half of the Raw crew is going to be on SmackDown Friday. Cody's going to be there. Seth is going to be there. They're just going to do whatever. Brian Alvarez via WOL stated earlier Wednesday or Thursday, and this, I guess, partially was true. Cody Rhodes was on SmackDown, but I'm assuming him and Seth were the dark match. Touching on that a little bit more, Brandy Rhodes posted on Instagram saying there's a new women's wrestler in the ring. She has pictures to prove it, and it turned out to be her daughter going towards Cody. And that just kind of gets me excited for 20 years when the women's division might actually be something with, Baby Rhodes, Baby Lynch, Baby Rousey, potentially a Baby Flair, which would be a third generation Flair, and that's insane. Wardlow compares his career to Batista. Quote, "It just organically happened. My career just seems to be mimicking a little bit of Batista's. You can compare the Pinnacle to Evolution. You can compare myself and Max to Triple H and Batista. It really unfolded very similar to how that did." Once again, MVP and Omos will face Bobby Lashley in a 2-on-1 handicap match at Hell in a Cell. Moving on to Friday Night Rampage. Opening match, Bryan Danielson and Matt Sydal. Bryan Danielson got the win. Seems like his leg isn't too badly hurt after what happened last week. The Young Bucks versus John Cruz and Taylor Russ. The Young Bucks dressed up and came out to the Hardys entrance, which was hilarious. The next match was Dante Martin versus Max Caster. Dante Martin got the win. The final semifinal for the Owen Hart Cup Women's Tournament was Ruby Soho and Chris Statlander. Ruby would get the win and will face Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, on Sunday. Scorpio Sky got his new TNT Championship, and Guevara and Tay Conti got their match at Double or Nothing after stealing America Top Team's all their titles, UFC and other MMA titles at their gym. So we will see that match, which has been one that's been wanted for a while. Darby Allin and Kyle O'Reilly have been added to Double or Nothing after a promo given by Darby Allin on Rampage. SmackDown, opening up the show, Raquel Rodriguez and Ronda Rousey, and went 55 seconds before there was a DQ of Natalya and Shayna Baszler, and then immediately my thoughts were this is going to turn into a tag match, and sure enough, it did. Raquel and Ronda got the win. The match went about 2 minutes and 15 seconds, which was 2 minutes and 15 seconds too long. And I have a feeling they might just do that. They might take the entire women's roster, pair everyone up who's not in contention for the singles title, figure out who's going to take the tag titles, and then all the teams are just going to magically break up. Terrible. A cool moment in this match, though, was Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler came face to face, and we know that they have history. And honestly, if Shayna would stand up for herself like Naomi and Sasha did and not say, I want to stop being a jobber, she should be in title contention. I would take her, Liv Morgan, Alexa Bliss, in the title picture over Doudrop. No. Next match, Los Lotharios versus Jinder Mahal and Shanky. This match was awful. I got up to go to the bathroom and come downstairs, and the match still wasn't over when I got back up. They tried to throw some comedy into this match, which didn't work. Jinder was looking for Shanky backstage and then found him dancing in the locker room, came out, they lost the match, and then he started dancing again. And Pat was hyped. It was fun to watch Pat get hyped for Shanky and whatnot, but this match was terrible because, well, Jinder Mahal sucks. Same with Los Lotharios. The next match, their entrances started. They went to commercial, came back. Their entrances were still going. I came downstairs, missed both of those, went back upstairs, and the match had just started. And not even 50 seconds into the match, commercial. Drew Gulak, it was Gunther and Ludwig Kaiser versus Ricochet and Drew Gulak. Again, Ricochet is the Intercontinental Champion, and he's being thrown into a tag team as a jobber for Gunther, which he's joining Drew Gulak in that front because, he's now a jobber to everyone, including Charlotte, which was weeks before she took her time off. The match went 6 minutes and 15 seconds, and the intros, commercials, and entrances felt like they were on for 20 minutes. Speaking of Flair, her and Andrade finally got married, and I'm assuming she'll return by SummerSlam. Probably going to return before Bayley does, but that would be cool to have them both return and start a feud with those two, keeping Charlotte out of the title picture, having Bayley have great matches, and then putting her into the title picture to take out Ronda Rousey. But then again, what do I know? Some notes, Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens on the KO show, which was advertised as a member of the Bloodline will be on the KO show, was hilarious. Drew Day was great too. I forgot that was the main event. Drew Gulak and the New Day versus the Brawling Brutes. Butch, Ridge Holland, and Sheamus. I was hoping it would be someone else, but it was Drew. And I guess they did that because he just was on a 2-week tour over in the UK, getting everyone hyped for the pay-per-view coming Labor Day weekend. Once again, Pat was electric, quickly naming this trio Drew Day, and Drew was dancing at the end when they won. That was hilarious. Cody was there. Like I said earlier, Seth was probably there. I'm assuming they were the dark match. Baby Lynch, Rhodes, Rousey, I touched on that. Oh, Zelina Vega is out for 6 to 8 weeks with an injury, and I forgot all about her. So another 6 to 8 weeks without her on screen is not bad. Just once again sucks for the women's tag team division, although Carmella and her were barely even a tag team. Randy Orton is apparently legitimately hurt. His back has been giving him issues, Riddle stated, and he's having conversations with doctors on possible surgeries. A Raw preview for this coming Monday. Contract signing, 2-on-1 handicap match, Bobby Lashley versus MVP and Omos. Cody Rhodes responds to Seth's attack. Asuka versus Bianca, a tag team championship match, the Usos versus Shinsuke, Nakamura, and Riddle. That's right. Smackdown started with the Usos coming out, taking a moment to thanking the WWE universe and the 12 years that they've been on in the WWE, being humble, and then turned full on Conor McGregor and said, thanks for nothing. They didn't need anyone. Then all of a sudden, Shinsuke came out, said that he had a partner. I thought, okay, Boogs is going to be back. Nope. They're going to throw Riddle with Nakamura on a tag team and immediately give them a tag team title match. Why? Is Riddle not supposed to be Roman Reigns' next opponent? I get that he's on a hiatus, but he was at the arena. They easily could have started that build, regardless if Roman has actually been pulled from Money in the Bank. Regardless, the Usos, Shinsuke, Riddle, tag team championship match Monday. Lacey Evans will be back in action as well. Cody tweeted after SmackDown, damn, Little Rock, y'all were loud, loved it, need to get back sooner. Next Friday on SmackDown, Madcap Moss is back. Madcap, no cap, as Pat said. Now I'm going to preview and give my predictions for AEW Double or Nothing. Sunday, the buy-in, Hook and Danhausen versus Tony Nese and Mark Sterling. My pick is Hookhausen because I don't know the other two. Main card, according to Wikipedia, this is the order. Kicking off is Kyle O'Reilly, Darby Allin. I have, do I want to go Undisputed Elite or this is tough. I do enjoy watching Darby Allin and the way he wrestles. I never really watched much of Kyle O'Reilly because I didn't watch NXT. I'm going to go Darby Allin, the TBS Championship. Jade Cargill and Anna Jay. Anna Jay is my pick. I just want someone new because Jade Cargill has had the title since that's been a title. 6-man tag match, the House of Black versus Death Triangle. I'm going House of Black because there's 2 former WWE guys. The 6-person mixed tag match, and if America Top Team wins, neither Guevara or Kazarian will be allowed to challenge for the TNT title as long as Sky is champion. It is America Top Team, Scorpio Sky, Ethan Page, and Paige Van Zant versus Dan Lambert, Sammy Guevara, and Frankie Kazarian. Oh, I'm sorry, with Dan Lambert versus Sammy Guevara, Frankie Kazarian, and Tay Conti. My pick, Guevara, Conti, and Kazarian. And I hope they go over big time and Paige Van Zant can go back to OnlyFans. Probably going to be the match of the night. The dream match for most people, the Hardy Boys, Jeff and Matt Hardy versus the Young Bucks, Matt and Nick Jackson. I think the Hardys will hopefully win, which is going to suck for the Undisputed Elite being 0-2 on the night. But we'll fix that later in the night. A 3-way tag team championship, AEW World Tag Team Championship match, Jurassic Express versus Team Taz, Ricky Starks and Powerhouse Hobbs versus Keith Lee and Swerve Strickland. My pick, Keith Lee and Swerve Strickland. Anarchy in the Arena match, the Jericho Appreciation Society versus the Blackpool Combat Club and Eddie Kingston, Santana, and Ortiz. My pick is the Blackpool Combat Club. I'm pumped to see this match for Mox and Danielson, as well as Eddie Kingston, because I do enjoy him. The Women's Owen Hart Foundation Tournament Final. Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, versus Ruby Soho. My pick is Dr. Britt Baker, DMD. The Men's Owen Hart Foundation Tournament Final. Jay Lethal Sonjay Dutt and Santana Singh are barred from ringside. Samoa Joe versus Adam Cole. My pick is Adam Cole, baby. The next match, probably going to be another good one. This would also be the first win for Undisputed Elite, unless you count Britt Baker and her win too. Next match is MJF versus Wardlow. If Wardlow wins, he will be granted release from his contract with MJF. If MJF wins, Wardlow will be permanently banned from signing with AEW. My pick is Wardlow is probably more than likely going to win. And then I will be excited to see where MJF goes from there. The next match is the AEW Women's World Championship. Thunder Rosa versus Serena Deeb. My pick is Thunder Rosa retaining. And then the main event, probably the match of the night by far. Hangman Adam Page, champion, versus CM Punk. And my pick will be, of course, CM Punk. This has been the weekly wrap up and my predictions for Double or Nothing on Sunday, May 29th. Thanks for watching and listening. I will see you next time and hope you're all pumped for Double or Nothing, just like I am.